What's up? Royceberg. First off, just have to say that I am a fan of your channel. I've been watching it for a couple of months. You always put out interesting stuff. I usually don't make responses. I every now and then leave comments here and there. I usually don't make responses because you usually hit all the damn points. This latest one you brought up, though, is so fucked up that I have to say something. And it's nothing you said, because everything you said is dead on. Alright? I got nothing wrong. I don't have any problem with what you pointed out. You know, even with you cursing and all that, I got no problem with it, because that is pretty fucking reprehensible. You know, trying to link babies with evil is just the product of a sick mind. A sick, ridiculously inhibited mind. But a sick one nonetheless. But there's one point that I want to make, and it's on the logic that is used. And I just wanted to point this out just to show you. You basically said that what they're saying is going against their very belief in the Bible about, you know, Jesus supposedly when he came and died for everyone's sins, he had saved them from... A lot of the stuff about trying to link babies with evil goes back to the whole original sin bullshit. Now, generally Christianity, especially the Catholic Church, when they talk about original sin, saying that you have to be baptized in order to get rid of it, the original sin doesn't necessarily make you evil. It's supposed to just make you tainted. This is one of the reasons why, even in the old days when the Catholic Church was a bit more stringent than it is now, they believed that when a baby died, it didn't go to hell, it just went to limbo. You know, because it didn't get a fair shake, but at the same time, since it wasn't baptized, it wasn't, you know, blessed. So it was kind of like in between. But they didn't link it with evil. They just said it was tainted, which is still stupid, but you know what I mean. It's not on the same level. But it just goes to show you how much these fucktards don't even know their own fucking Bible, nor do they even know the religion that they're basing their wacko beliefs on. What, the point that I'm trying to put on is this. Not only does it seem to go against the very teachings, but what they say in their Bible about Jesus, but it also goes against their very beliefs about God self. God is supposed to be the creator of everything. And I mean everything. Let's not even get into the whole argument about how if he created everything, that means he created evil too. We'll put that aside, okay? We'll just pretend that Satan is the one that controls evil, okay? According to their myths. We'll just pretend, for the sake of argument. Everything that God is supposed to create is perfect. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't fuck up. So, when human beings were created, human beings are supposed to be perfect. Again, we're going to try to, you know, pretend here with that. When a baby is born, and that's another thing, let me just go through this also. God is supposed to be the only creator. To say that anything that comes from God can create is supposedly blasphemous. This is something that Christians, especially the old hardcore Christians from a long time ago, used to believe. Human beings don't create. They used to separate, they always say, no, you can make things, you can invent things. It's not the same thing as God who can create, make life just spring up from nowhere. God is supposed to be the only one with this talent, this power, you know? Nothing else that comes from him is supposed to be able to reach that. According to Christians, anyway. So here comes a baby being born. And somehow this baby is the child of Satan. It's linked to Satan. This is a child, this is an organism that comes from an organism that God created. Last time I checked, the Genesis said that God created man, not Satan. Therefore, any offspring that would come from a creation of God would have to, by extension, still be from God. How can it be from Satan? The only way in hell, excuse the expression, that this baby can come from Satan is if Satan has the ability to create. And if these wackos are going to say that, oh well, he does have the ability to create, then that means that they're putting Satan in the same level as the God that they worship, which would be blasphemous and even their own cult version of their religion. Because God is supposed to be the Almighty. He's supposed to be supreme. Nothing is supposed to equal to him. But to say that a baby comes from Satan means that Satan must be able to create. And if Satan can create, that's a talent that he shares with God, putting him in the same level playing. Which makes no fucking sense to their religion. I have had arguments before with Christians on a similar line when they're talking about how Satan's rebelling against God, and how Satan is constantly the adversary of God, and soon there's going to have to be another war that God has to go against Satan and all that. And I would always point out, it's very funny that you have to go through all this shit and wait for Armageddon and angels and war and bloodshed and last days and all that from something that God just created. God is supposed to be so powerful that he can just snap his fingers and something happens. If something he created is his light, he can just press the smite key on his keyboard and bang, thing is gone. Now, all of a sudden, you have Satan, a creation of God, causing him this much grief to the point where you have to have war to get rid of him? That's putting him on the same plane. Makes no sense unless they're equal, but to say that they're equal would be blasphemous in their religion. This is the sort of pseudo-logic that these guys use. And for that woman, Caroline, to say that statement that the babies are from Satan is just an extension of this. It's inevitable. Because if you're going to say that there is some fallen angel somewhere, a creation of the Almighty, something that's lesser than that, but is able to fight on equal footing, well, you're halfway to the mark of saying that Satan's equal to him. So you might as well start saying everything that you don't like, well, that's from Satan too. This baby is created from Satan, made him in his own special chemistry lab. Bang, there he came. It's ridiculous, it's stupid, it's fucked up. But it's an offspring of the type of logic used in Christianity. So this is really not surprising. It's reprehensible, yes. It's completely fucked up, sure. It shows a mind that's incapable of being able to put one foot in front of the other mentally. Definitely. But it's not surprising. This is just a logical extension of how they're trying to come up with some imaginary adversary to their imaginary deity. You have to constantly keep building upon the bullshit in order to keep the snare up. It's part of the course. So, yeah, just wanted to put that little extra addition to what you stated. Why that reasoning is there, where it came from, and just how fucked up the logic is. I mean, anyone with a functioning mind would look at this and go, that's fucked up. But you have to set your logic aside in order to accept beliefs like this. And if you're going to throw yourself wholeheartedly into a religion where you're not even going to look at your religion critically, soon you're going to start making stupid statements like this and not see a problem with it. I am willing to bet you that if you ever was face to face with this woman and you laid out exactly why that statement was fucked up, she'd still argue with you and fight you to the end, saying that you're the one who's wrong because she already put her logic aside. But that's old news. You probably already know it. So, yeah. It's the end of my rant. That's all I want to add. Again, like your stuff. I'll keep watching. Take care.